Hello everyone and welcome back to Nathrandir's Guide to Everything. This is part 2 in a beginner's series on how to create a druid using D&D Beyond. So today we're going to look to level up our druid from our last video, which was Ahime. We're going to level up to level 3 and see what we unlock. As well, I'm going to show you a new screen in D&D Beyond, which is kind of in the extras section, because druids can turn into animals. They have a wild shape feature, and I'll show you how to keep track of those statistics and stuff just using D&D Beyond. So let's just jump straight into it. I don't need to explain it again, you know where we are. We're going to go straight to my characters, and we're going to go over to Ahime. I'm going to jump into edit first of all. We go to the class screen because we're not changing anything else, we're just changing our level. So we're going to bring him up to level 3, and this should get you started with wild shape for 1, so you can transform into beasts. So I'll just read the short description here. You can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before. You can use this feature twice. You regain expended uses when you finish a short or long rest. You do get more uses as you level up, and the type of creature you can turn into also changes as you level up as well. Some important things to remember are in these kind of bullet points below here. I don't want this video to run too long, so I'll just try and briefly describe them best I can. So your game statistics are replaced by the beast, and that's what I'm going to show you how to find. You retain your alignment, your personality, your intelligence, wisdom and charisma scores. So just physically you become this creature. You also retain all of your skill and saving throw proficiencies, in addition to gaining those of the creature. Let's say you have +4 perception, but an eagle has +6 perception. You'd use the +6 instead when you're rolling, when you're transformed. You don't get legendary actions if you were to transform into a creature with that. That's kind of high level play anyway. You assume their hit points and their hit dice, and when you revert to the number of hit points you had before you transformed. But any excess damage that would drop you to 0 as a creature also goes into your character's normal hit points as well. You can't cast spells, and you can't speak unless it's an animal that speaks, which I don't think there is any that you can wild shape into. And you retain any benefits of any features from your class, race or other source in your new form. So, also at the bottom you can choose whether your equipment falls to the ground or stays on you. I would recommend you keep it on you. So something to note as well here, at 4th level, when you become a druid, you get access to a swimming speed as well as just a walking speed, and then at 8th you can fly. You can choose flying creatures as well. Cool, so that's a summary of beast shape, wild shape, whichever you prefer. And for the druid circle, as we discussed kind of last video, I wanted Ahime to be kind of a pirate character, so the circle we're going to go for is Coast, and that gets us a few things. So we get a bonus cantrip at this level, and I can't actually remember what we chose at first level, so I'm just going to go with something basic like magic stones. Sure, basically means we can pick up some stones, imbue them magic and throw them. Sounds great. Improv. That's what pirates are good at, right? A little bit. We also have this natural recovery feature. So you can regain some of your magical energy by sitting in meditation and communing with nature. During a short rest, you choose expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your druid level. And none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. You can't use that again till you finish a long rest. So just in between, you can replenish a couple of smaller spell slots on a short rest, which is great. And circle spells. So we chose Coast. So you can see each circle has their own spells. At our level, which is 3rd, we get Mirror Image and Misty Step. So Misty Step is a teleporting spell. As a bonus action, it's a favourite of mine. It's a fantastic spell, don't underestimate it. Mirror Image is also fantastic. It makes you really hard to hit. You basically create duplicates of yourself, so when someone's attacking you, they have a chance to hit the mirror image instead. Water breathing and water walk at 5th level makes sense if we're a pirate out on the sea all the time. At 7th level we get control water and freedom of movement, and then at 9th level conjure elemental and scrying. All fantastic spells, lots of utility in there, as well as the conjure elemental, which is obviously quite a powerful spell. But they're just the ones we get from our circle innately. We can pick obviously a load just as a spellcaster anyway. So that's level 3. So now let's just jump straight into the character sheet. Not much is going to have changed here statistics wise. We have a couple of new cantrips, or one I should say, magic stones, which gives us a bit of a projectile, which is fantastic. But now we're level 3, we do have access to more spells. You can see we have 7 available as opposed to 5 now. And remember, as a druid, you can change every time you take a long rest your entire spell list. I recommend keeping a baseline though of ones you always take with you, and then that way you don't have to learn new spells and all things like that. You just have a baseline of your go-tos, your reliables. We didn't have access to 2nd level spells in the first video, so let's just add 2 of these. I think we don't have Dark Vision as a Water Genasi, so I think Dark Vision would probably be a great one for all those dungeon delves that we need to do. When we go underwater, it's going to be pitch black, right? So that would be good. And thematically, what else would be good here? For me, there's 2 options here. I like both Gust of Wind. If we're on a ship, we want to start it moving faster, this would be fantastic. Or we want to slow someone down behind us if we're being chased on the open ocean, whatever it might be. Or we can go for Heat Metal. Let's say there's a rival fleet, the Navy or something like that, and they all wear armor, they're known to wear armor. You could take Heat Metal and heat up their armor that they're in, and then you've got a good way of taking them down. Or you could heat up a harpoon before it's fired at an enemy ship. But that's quite an aggressive one, obviously. So what do we have already? We don't have many aggressive spells at all. So I think Heat Metal would be a really good one here. So we're going to go with that. And so now, that's it. We've added 2 spells. We don't have any new features as far as I'm aware, other than Wild Shape, which I'm going to go through now. So like I say, you can use it as an action. On a short rest they regen, so don't be afraid to use them. This is what a druid is about. Use those wild shapes. They're so good. But I'm just going to show you now how to add some creatures into your character sheet, so you don't have to mess around searching online for statistics and all these kind of things. You can just do it all in D&D Beyond, which this took me a while to figure out, to be fair. So we're 3rd level, so the max challenge rating of something we can transform into. We don't have a flying speed, we don't have a swimming speed. Max CR 1/4. So we go to extras, manage extras, wild shape, challenge range 1/4 to 0. Oh, wrong way around. Sorry, 0 to 1/4 is what we want to do. That's fantastic. I guess there's a lot. So now you can discuss with your DM what creatures you would be familiar enough with to have to transform into them or to have seen. And bear in mind, this doesn't have to be like accurate to the creature. Let's say you've seen a giant badger. Badgers are black and white. Let's say Ahime here, he has like a greeny blue skin. You can make the fur of the badger, cosmetically different. It doesn't make a difference to the statistics, really. So just flavour it how you like. Maybe if you wear a crown or something, all the creatures can have a crown coming off them. It's just something to make it yours, something to make it identify with you. So I'm trying to think of things I would have seen out on the open ocean. I think a baboon from like exotic islands, why not? A boar definitely from hunting on said islands. We'd have been to far away places and seen the desert. Let's say a camel. Everybody knows what a cat is, everybody knows what a deer is, and I'm just kind of riffing here. You don't have to have all these. You can also just go with functional ones if they're not too finicky about exactly what you've seen. If they just say transform into anything you want, cool. You've read books, you might know what all of these things are. So we'll add giant rat from a cityscapes that we've been into that we don't like, obviously. Giant weasel, because that's hilarious. Giant lizard, giant badger, that would be fun. I think hyenas we would have seen. Lizards, we've seen a dog before. We'll add a mastiff as well. And like I said, I'm going crazy here, but you don't have to add all these. A rat might be useful. You got to think, if you're trying to sneak into somewhere, you could turn yourself into a rat. A panther, a horse is great if you don't have one. You got a lot of movement speed there. A spider, I think we would know what that looks like, and a wolf. So we'll stop there for now. But yeah, if you ever want anything else, you can just change the challenge rating all the way up to whatever it might be. And so as an example, let's say we're looking to make a quick getaway. Me and my companion, neither of us have a horse and we're being chased by something, we need to get away. So this is on land in this case. I could transform into a riding horse. You could jump on my back and we could ride away. And so riding horses, so we adopt their physical statistics, so strength, dex, con. But what's great about it is in your extra screen here, you can just go over to the right, you can change the hit points here if you were to take any damage, and see all your saving throws, all your modifiers, everything is there ready to use. And it's the same for every creature. If we transfer into a rat, it's all there as well. I imagine in the future, probably what's going to happen with D&D Beyond, because at the moment, like as you know, you can roll by clicking on any number on the screen basically. I imagine they'll add that to the wild shape functionality very soon. It's already in the encounter builder with monster statistics and things like that, so it's just a matter of time really before they transfer it over. And what I thought I'd do today as well is, for a level 3 druid, I thought I'd recommend maybe a magic item that you could ask your DM GM in character, obviously, in a shop, see if they've got something for you. So looking at our statistics, what would help us, what would empower our character a little bit more in these early levels? Let's take a quick look. Okay, so I've just had a quick browse, and basically what I think we should do is lean into just our spell casting ability more often than not, and if we can, try to improve our AC, because druids often do get hit quite a lot, especially if you put yourself in danger with a wild shape and then you can't quite manage to pull out. So my idea is I want to make sure we're always stocked up on spells and give ourselves a little bit more protection should we happen to get in combat with something. So for that, I was looking at our pretty crappy shield here and kind of basic leather armor. So the first thing we'll probably look to upgrade is to get some studded leather, which druids can wear. So some studded leather, we'll add that in there. And this is things you should just be looking for, see if you can loot, or you can buy them from a vendor in your world. Now this one might be a bit of a stretch at level 3, but a shield +1 would be massive for your AC as well, along with the studded leather, so that's a good one to go for. And for the spell casting side of things, a Pearl of Power would be a fantastic addition. So you can go for a Pearl of Power, and if you don't know what that does, while this pearl is on your person, you can use an action to speak its command word to regain 1 expended spell slot. If it was a 4th or higher, the new slot is 3rd level. So basically you can get a 3rd level or lower spell slot back. Why would you not want that? Amazing. A shield +1 makes it magical and gives you +1 to your AC, nothing to shout about there. So let's equip those two things and the studded leather, and we can just remove that old leather and that old shield because we don't need those. Now we've got up 2 AC just by adding those 2 items. And if you really want to stretch your luck and go for something a bit more mystic, you could go for something like the Cloak of Protection instead. That not only would it be your first kind of attunable item along with the Pearl of Power, it adds +1 to your saving throws as well. So if you check out the top left there, +1 on saves, which does make a huge difference. We've already got a pretty good spread there, but Cloak of Protection really takes that up. So if you get really, really lucky, maybe this is what your level 3 character could look like. I give away magic items like they're nothing in my games. But that's probably a flaw in my DMing, to be quite frank. But there we go. That is Ahime, a level 3 Water Genasi Druid. Ready to go, ready to wild shape into all kinds of things. So this has been Nathrandir's Guide to Everything. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And you guys just keep an eye out. If you saw my Castlevania video a week or 2 ago, I can't quite remember, I've been working on something pretty big. I've made a whole subclass, loads of new spells, all ready for the next Castlevania video. So just keep your eye out for that. I'm really excited for it. And like I said, leave a like and a comment with any recommendations, any classes you would like to see me cover. I've already got kind of a layout of what I want to do, but any requests will always come first, of course. I'm here for you guys at the end of the day. So yeah, that's it. See you next time. Bye bye.